Hi, and welcome to the tutorial for the MyFitnessPal. We're going to go through and teach you how to enter your settings, how to figure out your total calories, and find your pie chart and get everything in there. This is Dr. Mike McGovern, author of the book, and I'm going to walk you through this. So here from my home screen, I'm just going to select the MyFitnessPal app. We're going to pop in. We're going to see that we're on the main page here. And in the upper left corner there under calories remaining, you're going to see 3,090. So that's my personal goal. And that gets calculated for you based on your settings. So you should have been asked to enter your inputs when you were first setting up your account. But in case you set them up already and then something that I said in the book made you want to change it, I'll show you how you can go ahead and check and see what your settings are and change them if necessary. So on the bottom right of the screen, you're going to see a dot 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 more button. And if you're an Android user, that'll be a little different for you. That'll be in the upper left corner. You'll have your 3 or 4 bars, your horizontal bars that you'll click on. And when you click on those bars or the more button on the bottom right, it'll bring you to this menu here. And this menu along with the diary are pretty much the only two screens that I use in the MyFitnessPal app. And this is where you'll find your settings that allow the app to calculate your total calories, which is the goals setting. So I'm going to go ahead and click on goals here. You can see it says goals at the top of the screen. And so it's got my current weight, my goal weight in there. Current weight, the app is going to use to calculate your total calories. Your weekly goal of losing weight or maintaining weight is going to also affect your total calories, and how you have your activity level set is going to affect your total calories. So if I go into activity level and I change it to lightly active, for example, it'll ask me if I want to update my custom goals. I'm okay with that. I'll hit yes. And before, my calories were set at 3,090. So to go look and see what effect changing my activity level have, I'm just going to hit the back button in the upper left corner. And then on the bottom, I'm going to select diary. And so now in the upper left corner, my goal has been changed to 2,700. So that's a pretty big difference. That's a difference of 390 calories per day, just based on changing the activity level setting. So I did want to show you where those settings were, so you could go ahead and do that. In the book, I walked you through what those settings could be for you, and now you know where to find those in here. And what I also want to show you is how to determine your optimal protein intake per day. So let's go back to that dot 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 more menu, bottom right for iPhone users, upper left for Android users. And now we're going to select nutrition. It has a little pie chart icon next to it. Or actually, we'll go to goals first. We'll go into the pie chart in a second. So we'll go to goals. So this is the same tab where we just were with the weekly goal and the activity level there. And just underneath those, we see nutrition goals. And the first one is calorie and macronutrient goals. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And after I changed my activity level, MyFitnessPal app actually went back to the factory settings. And you can see right now, its factory settings say that 50% of my 2,700 calories should come from carbohydrates. And as I mentioned in the book, that's not great. That's not what you want to do unless you want to gain weight and increase your body fat and destroy your hormone system and imbalance your mood. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to want to change these. So you can select any of the bottom 3 options, carbohydrate, protein, or fat. Selecting any of those will bring you to the same screen, which is this one. And here is where we can actually slide the dial a little bit and get to where we want to be. And for liver body types or blood type O's, I would recommend a carbohydrate setting of 15 to 20%. For me, I'm going to leave it at 20 per now. I usually come in around 17 or 18. And then the protein, I'm going to dial up to 35. And then my fat percent, I'm going to dial into 45. As long as those all add up to 100, you're good. And this is where you make the adjustment. For blood type O's and liver types, this is a good pie chart to use. Some other body types and blood types are going to have a little bit of a different distribution. They might go with a distribution that's more 20, 25, 55. But for me as a liver type, we're going to go ahead and make those work for me. So once you're done, you'll just hit the check box. It's just above fat. It's got the little check mark next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and voila, I have changed those officially. And now if I hit the back upper left button, I want to actually show you how to log some food. So we'll back up again and we'll select the diary. And the diary for breakfast, it's asking me if I just want to add yesterday's breakfast, which I do, but I'll kind of show you what that was. I'm going to hit add food underneath breakfast. And this has all of my recent foods in there. If you don't have any recent foods, you can hit the search button up top. And you can actually type in a food that you ate. So let's say that you had some oatmeal. You'll go ahead and type for oatmeal. You'll hit search. And you'll have a number of different oatmeals to choose from. If you want to pick the one that you think is the most similar to what you eat, you can select that. So we'll pick this one. And you can adjust the number of servings. So if one serving size was 6 ounces, but you had 12 ounces, you would just click number of servings. And to go from 6 to 12, you would just double the number of servings. And then once you're all done with that, you would hit the check box. And now oatmeal, 215 calories, has been officially added to breakfast. And now what I want to show you is what I think the best part of the MyFitnessPal app, other than the calorie tracking, is going to look at that pie chart. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's hit the ... more button. Let's click on the nutrition, which has the pie chart next to it. And this will actually give us our food breakdown for the day. So for this particular day, if I had only had oatmeal, then this is how my calories would be broken down. 71% of the calories in oatmeal come from carbohydrate, which you can see is a long way off from my goal of 20%. So oatmeal is a high carb food that would not blend particularly well with my personal macronutrient goals and the ones that I'm recommending for blood type O's and liver types at this time. You can see that the fat at 15% is not as high as my goal should be, and the protein at 14% is not as high as it should be either. So I can kind of learn from this that oatmeal is not a food that I should be eating a lot of, if any. And if I'm going to eat it, I should pair it with some other foods that are higher in fat and protein to balance out my pie chart a little bit. So I hope that's useful for you. I'm going to go ahead and back out of there. I'm going to go back to the diary. And I'm just going to swipe that oatmeal to the left and delete it because I didn't actually eat that. I'm going to enter in the smoothie that I had today. I'm still going to hit the add food button, even though I could just swipe it over here and add it. I want to show you how I do it from your standpoint. So I'm going to click underneath breakfast, add food. And this is actually a recipe that I created in here. I call it the Detox Super Smoothie. On the upper right corner underneath that bar symbol, you can see where it says recipes. I'm going to click on there. And I've actually created this recipe, the Detox Super Smoothie. I'm going to go ahead and select that now. And it's 1 full serving. It's 900 calories. I'm 200 pounds, so I can get away with 900 calories. I'm going to click the check box up top. And it's now been added to my diary. So you can create your own recipes. I'll have a separate video for that down the road. But I just kind of want to show you how the pie chart looks after that smoothie by hitting the ... more button at the bottom right, going into my pie chart icon with nutrition next to it. And that looks a lot better. The 21% carb is very close to my 20% goal. The 39% fat is a little low. The 40% protein is a little high. And I actually like that because I have a little bit of trouble getting my 35% protein goal on some days. So I don't mind starting out my day with a little bit more protein and going a little bit over there. I actually feel pretty good doing that. I like that. And I want to show you really quick, for those of you who want to know actually how many grams of protein you need to eat per day. You can do this too. You'll notice at the top underneath nutrition, there's a little blue kind of arrow that's pointing to the word macros. And so if you just take that and you slide it over to nutrients, This is where it'll tell you how many grams you actually need. So for protein for me, 35% of 2,700 calories, 35% of those 2,700 calories for me should come from protein, and that comes out to 236 grams. So you can see underneath, next to protein there, where it says goal, 236, that's the number of grams of protein, if you actually wanted to know that, if you were looking up food charts and things like that. And 135 grams of carbohydrate, 38 grams of fiber, 135 grams of fat. Those are sort of the goals there for me based on my pie chart, which if we just slide that back over to macros, that's the default view that I leave it on all the time. I really don't worry about the actual number of grams. I'm just looking to hit my total calorie goal for the day, and then looking to make sure that my pie chart actually has the distribution that it's supposed to. So just a little tutorial there on the MyFitnessPal app, how to get using it. I hope this is really helpful for you. And again, this is Dr. Mike, and we'll be talking soon, following up with some more videos.